Hey guys, you're going to want to start off with a really small brush for your brows. Make sure it's nice and tapered. I already have some brow product in it. I'm going to go for the middle, doing hair-like strokes and then extending that all the way to the tail of the brow. Make sure you have a really light hand for this just because you don't want your brows to look so harsh. This is a good time to stop and compare the two brows to see if you're going in the right track. I like to brush the front of my brow. Since I don't dip more product into the brush, I have less product and it won't look harsh. It'll be a natural kind of ombre effect where it's feathered up in the front and then a little darker towards the end. And I just want to remind you guys once again that you don't want to go so harsh, so use a light hand. This step is a must. I like to use a brow spoolie just to perfect my imperfections. You're not always going to get the perfect brows, so brushing them out will really help you out if you have any harsh lines. Now it's time to prep the skin. You don't have to use a brush for this, but I just do it for hygienic reasons. I'm putting on moisturizer on her skin. A moisturizer without SPF is your best bet just because SPF can cause flashback and all the bright lights on stage can reflect, and you don't want to have your baby looking like a Christmas tree. So make sure it doesn't have SPF. For my girls who have extremely dry skin, this is a great thing to do before putting on makeup. It's just rose water. You could honestly grab a water bottle and pour it in a spritz bottle, and it works just as well. But yeah, I like to spray the face just to hydrate. If you're not great with symmetry, you're going to want to listen up. This is a really cool hack. I'll grab a piece of tape, I'll tell the dancer to close their eyes, and I'll follow where the lash line ends. It's kind of like a little crease at the tip of the eye. And then I'll do that on both sides. This will help me with my eyeshadow, with my eyeliner. And yeah, you're not going to have to be worrying about perfecting that because it can be a stressful process. Okay, now we're going to be going in with some concealer. Make sure it's the same skin tone as the dancer. I don't like it being any lighter because it can cause flashback. This is going to act as a base for the eyeshadow. The colors are going to be much more pigmented and it'll stay longer because of how tacky the concealer is. Now you're just going to blend out the concealer because you don't want all that product to be clumped up in one area. I'm using a fluffy brush. It's really dense, so it's good to spread around. It won't leave any streaks, but honestly, your fingers are your best friends. When you're tapping that against skin, the heat is going to blend the product out flawlessly. So if you don't have that many brushes, your fingers will do the job. So this step is optional. I'm using translucent powder to set the concealer. You don't have to do this, but Annabelle and a lot of people, including me, have creases in their eyes and it can tend to look patchy with eyeshadow. So if you just tap that translucent powder above the concealer, it'll make your eyeshadow look really smooth. And yeah, this is just all prepping for the eyeshadow. Like I said, it's going to make the eyeshadow look so much more pigmented. This is going to be a really good tip for stage makeup. You don't want to worry about the translucent powder looking really white because once you dust it off, it's translucent. It'll blend into the skin tone or the tone of the cream that you're using. You can use any powder brush to dust the translucent powder off. I'm just using this one because it glides over the eye really nicely, so it's just really convenient. But yeah, any powder puff or powder brush will be great to use. Okay guys, so this eyeshadow look is going to have a lot of browns and a lot of nice champagne colors. We're going to be starting off with a light brown and placing that on the crease. I like to tap and then I like to spread it out by blending and rotating. And you also can build up here, so you tap, 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 and you want to blend in circular motions. So this eyeshadow palette is not necessary to buy as long as you have neutral colors, light browns, and light champagne shimmers and whites, then you're good to go. But yes, this is a light brown color and I'm building the color up. I'm going back into the palette and just tapping and rotating. Remember, it's not on the eyelid and it's not on the brow bone. It's in between. You're going to feel an indent in the eye and that's where you'll know to place it. The following color that we're going to be using is a darker brown. This is on the warmer side. So what you're going to do is that you're going to place it at the outer corner of the eye and you're going to blend upward. Now go into the darkest shade of brown that you have and apply it to the outer corner just like we previously did with the medium tone brown shade. Next step is to remove the tape from the corners of the eye using a downward motion. Next step is called cutting the crease. You're going to grab a concealer that's 2 to 3 shades lighter than the dancer's skin tone and apply a dot near the lash line. Make sure your dancer's eye is closed. Once she opens it, it'll create another dot, and this will be your guide for cutting the crease. Now to blend the concealer out, I like to use a really small, thin brush. This is a concealer brush, but if you have any brushes that you prefer, that's fine. You're going to blend the concealer out, not any further from the middle of the eye and nowhere above the dot that was marked. The goal for this cut crease is to be round and precise, making sure that you only cover the lid and nothing above it. You want to make sure that you're only going halfway so you don't ruin the work that you did previously with the browns. To ensure a precise cut crease, you want to start from the inner corner of the eye and extend it towards the center. Remember that the dot is a guide, so don't go anywhere above nor below it. From the center, you want to extend it slightly further. Remember that the lid can be a guide as well, and if you don't follow the natural shape of the eye, it can get unproportional. This is a good time to stop. Look at your dancer and make sure that things look as symmetrical as possible. If it doesn't, that's okay. Go back and retouch until you feel confident with your work. Once again, I'm going in with translucent powder and going over the concealer just to get that smooth base that I need. I'm using a longer flat brush that fits on the eyelid perfectly. Having the residue of eyeshadow on her cheek can tend to bother me, so I like to grab a makeup wipe and just clean some fallout. Coating a small, dense, fluffy brush into a white shimmery eyeshadow, I'm going to be placing it over the areas I concealed the eye. The white eyeshadow has to be extremely pigmented, so make sure you're dipping into that color and reapplying until you feel satisfied. Right now, you're just building up color. Using your finger will increase the color payoff of the eyeshadow. I like to call this the touch-up phase. From here, we are going to be retouching the colors, so if you want, grab that tape that you were using previously and put it on the corner of the eye once again. Dip your brush into the medium brown shade once again and go from the outer corner of the eye towards the center. This will stop the white and the brown from making a weird separation. Now you can remove the tape from the corners of the eye. Okay guys, we are almost done with the eye look. Now we're going to be going in with the eyeliner. I like to use a waterproof eyeliner just because the girls are going to be sweating, dancing, playing, and I don't want things to smear anywhere. So a liquid waterproof eyeliner I highly recommend. Earlier I mentioned that the tape was going to help you with the eyeliner. Since you did apply the eyeshadow before the liner, your eyeshadow should have created a line. Take the black eyeliner and start from the inner corner of the eye and slowly drag it out to where the eye finishes. Now that the base of your eyeliner is complete, using the line of the eyeshadow earlier created by the tape will be your guide for the liner. Make sure that the line for the wing does not extend too far out. If you want to fix any mistakes with the eyeliner, use a makeup wipe as an eraser. Our final step for the eye will be mascara. To To apply, tell dancer to close eye and brush upward. Lifting the brow while applying mascara will help lift the eyes to ensure that no mascara gets on the eyeshadow. We are finally finished with the eyes, and now we're going to be going on to the base. I like to use Maybelline's Fit Me foundation. It's drugstore, affordable, full coverage, but it's also lightweight, so it's not going to be too heavy on the dancer. To blend out the foundation, you can use any type of makeup sponge, brush, or your fingers. Applying foundation is pretty easy. You just want to blend until there's no more streaks. If your dancer does have problematic skin, some good advice is to start at the T-zone, so that'd be your chin, your nose area, and your forehead, just because that typically is the most problematic areas. From the T-zone area, you could continue on blending the outer portions of the face. Second step for the base is concealer. This is going to brighten the face, so you want to apply this on the under eye area. I like to do a triangular shape, the center of the nose, and the chin. Make sure that the concealer is no more than one shade lighter than the foundation. You're also going to blend the concealer out, just as you did with the foundation. Now, to give dimension to the face, we're going to be contouring. You want to use one shade darker than the foundation base. Apply this on the cheekbone, on the hairline, and the sides of the nose. Right now, I'm using cream-based product so that I could set it with a powder after. Now that I'm done applying concealer, foundation, and contour, I will be setting the face with the translucent powder I previously used on the eyes. I don't know if you noticed, but there is a pattern. Whenever there's a liquid or a cream, I set it with the powder. Now for blush, I apply that on the apples of the cheeks. If you don't know where to place it, tell your dancer to smile, and then tap, 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 then follow with circular motion. You can also apply blush on the nose. I think this is really cute. It gives warmth to the face, and it's, I don't know, a really nice innocent look. So it's optional, but if you do like it, you can apply a little bit of blush on the nose. Now we are going to add highlighter on the high points of her face. Highlighter is great for stage makeup just because when the lights are on the dancer's face, it'll give the dancer radiance to the skin, giving the makeup a fresh, natural look. With a clean, fluffy brush, I like to put this on the tip of her nose, on the high points of her cheek, above the lip, and a little bit above the brow and brow bone. Okay, now for the last step, we are going to be applying lipstick on the lips. If your daughter is doing more than one routine, the color will change, but the eyeshadow and base makeup will stay the same, so you won't have to worry about reapplying or changing colors. Since we are going to be applying different lipsticks for different routines, I'm just going to be substituting the lip color for a peachy nude. But in the description down below, I will be naming the exact lipstick you need to purchase for the routine. Thank you for watching the makeup tutorial. I hope it was understandable and that you girls have an awesome competition season. You rock.